2, 3.
Good morning, students. Today we are going to start another chapter, solid state. This is your first chapter, though we have finished second chapter, solution, but this chapter is your first chapter. Yes, solid state. Solid is actually a state of matter. But before that you should know what is matter. Matter is any substance, which is all substances are made up of matter. And matter is that substance which occupies space and which have volume and mass. That is matter. And every matter is belonging to some state. Matter is classified into three states: solid, liquid and gas. About liquid and gas you have discussed in class 11. Now we are starting with solid state. So we will start with introduction. Solid state. It's a state of matter apart from liquid and gaseous state. And in this case, when we say solid, the intermolecular force of attraction, that is between the particles of matter. Now these particles may be either atoms or ions or molecules. So this intermolecular or interparticle force of attraction is very large, and the space between these particles is very less. So due to this force of attraction, they will have some same fixed shape and volume. They will have fixed shape and volume. Next, characteristic properties of solids. Yes, you already know that solids are characterized by the following properties. All solids will have high density. You know, density is mass per unit volume. So since the force of attraction between the particle is very large, so the volume will be low. And as volume will be low, they will have high density. Low compressibility. Compressibility means what? The ability to change its shape when external force is applied. So in this case, you can see that I am holding a pen. If I am pressing it, is it getting compressed? No. This shows that it is a solid, because when external pressure is applied, it does not change its shape. Rigidity. It is a rigid. That means it has fixed shape and definite shape and volume. Its volume also does not change. So these are the properties. Next comes another parameter, solids. Classification of solid. We can classify the solids on the basis of following parameter, based on various properties. Like we know that when we are discussing about compressibility means solid are incompressible. We cannot compress them. But what about sponge or foam? You can compress the foam because there are some air particles. So depending on the properties we can classify. Our second point, based on bonding present in building blocks, like how the solid is being formed. So depending on bonding and other properties we can classify the solid. First we will see on the basis of various properties. So based on the various properties we can classify solid into two categories: crystalline solid and amorphous solid. When we say crystalline means they will have a regular structure over the entire volume and sharp properties. That means this table, it has got crystalline structure. We can see salt, common salt. You could see crystals of sugar, crystals of salt, and even in your practicals you had seen copper sulfate crystals. So solids, crystalline solids, they have regular structure over the entire volume and sharp properties, whereas amorphous solid have irregular structure. That means their shape cannot be defined over long distance and properties are not sharp. They will not have sharp properties or fixed properties or constant properties. Various differences are listed in the table. We will see one by one. Yes, first property is about shape. Shape. So crystalline solid, they have long range order. Now we have already discussed in previous class that long range, that means the particles, the constituent particles are arranged in regular arrangement. The order does not change. The order is constant for a long range. But in the case of amorphous, it is a short range order because it has got irregular shape. There is no regularity. What about melting point? What is melting point? Yes, melting point. You have studied in lower classes. The temperature at which a solid is converted into liquid at 1 atmospheric pressure. But in your previous class 11th, we have discussed about melting point, boiling point, right? Okay, so melting point, they have definite melting point. That means the crystalline solid will have definite, fixed melting point. What is the melting point of ice? We know that the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius or 273 Kelvin. So they have definite melting point. But what about amorphous solid? They do not have definite melting point, but they will have a range. That means they will have a range of melting point. They will start melting before their melting point itself. No fixed melting point, but a range of melting point. Heat of fusion, this you have studied in class 11. Enthalpy of fusion. So they have definite heat of fusion. Crystalline solid, because they will have regular shape, so their enthalpy of fusion will be fixed. But what about amorphous solid? They do not have fixed shape and no fixed melting point. So since melting point is also not fixed, so their enthalpy of fusion will also be not fixed. Next comes compressibility. We know that crystalline solid, when we take a crystal, it is rigid and incompressible. But what about amorphous solid? They can be compressed to some extent. Cutting with sharp edged tool. Yes, this is the cleavage property. Cleavage. Cleavage means what? We can cut the solid into two equal halves. When we are taking a crystalline solid, they are given cleavage. That is, they break into two pieces with plane surface. That means if we take a cube, then we cut it into two halves. So when we cut it with a cube, when we are taking a cube, see, I have taken a cube. Now if it is a crystalline structure and cubic crystal, now if I cut it exactly in between, we will get exactly two equal halves. That means, and there will be a plane, we will get a plane similar to this face. So crystalline solids, when they are cut, they break into two pieces with plane surface. But if I take a amorphous solid and it will show irregular cleavage, that means they will break into two pieces with irregular surface. That means there will be no regular surface. Example, we can take glass. If we take a glass, we will cut, means you don't get two equal part. We can cut that glass by diamond cutter, but not exactly the plane surface. You could see some fiber particles coming out. Isotropy and anisotropy. Now iso means what? Same. So isotropy, that means the properties are same along all the directions. So when we take crystalline solid, now if you are taking a crystal, you could see the particles, colors, right? Long range order. So if I take along this axis, you could see orange, black and green. This is the order. And now if I take this, you could see two green and one red. Are these particles same in both the direction X and Y? No. So in crystalline solid, they are anisotropic. That means the properties like refractive index or other properties, physical properties, they are not same in crystalline solid. But when we say amorphous solid, when we take amorphous solid, what do we see? There is short range order. That means the particles are not in orderly form. Whether you take along x, y, z or diagonally or any other axis, you could see there is no order of arrangement along any axis. Since there is no order, that means the property will be same in all directions, whether you take along x or y or z. But in the case of crystal, when we are taking a crystal, the constituent particles will not be same in all directions. So the properties will not be same. So they are anisotropic. But amorphous solids are isotropic. Next comes volume change. What about crystalline solid? There is a sudden change in volume when they melt. When we are taking crystalline solid, what happens? Since the surface area will be in contact, so there will be change in volume. But when we are taking amorphous, amorphous means आड़ा टेढ़ा कैसा भी molecule हो सकता है. So there is no sudden change in volume on melting. Now symmetry. Yes, you could see a crystalline solid, it will be symmetric. आप कहीं से भी देख सकते हैं, इधर से देखिए आप, इधर से देखिए, इधर से. You could see there are 6 faces and all of them are symmetric. Symmetry means we are getting identical arrangement when you rotate either through the axis or through the plane. So they are symmetric. But what about amorphous? Since there is short range of order, so there is no regular symmetry. Interfacial angles. Now you could see this crystal. They possess interfacial angle. Now since this is a cube, you could see this is the angle. The angle between two edges or two face. This is one face and this one is another face. So there will be some angle between the faces. But when we say amorphous crystal, amorphous solid, they do not possess interfacial angles. So this is how we have classified the solids into based on the properties. Next, based on bonding. Which type of bond is present among the particles? There are various types of solids based on type of bonding present in their building block. And these solids are classified. Yes, we can see different types of solids. First one, molecular solid. Molecular solid means here we are considering molecule as a particle, molecule as a whole. That means now this is further classified into polar, non-polar and hydrogen bonded. So constituent particle will be molecules. As a whole we are considering as a particle. Now the bonding between them is when we are taking noble gases, argon, there will be dispersion force or London force. Then when we are taking carbon tetrachloride, CCl4, again in carbon tetrachloride, you know there will be dipole moment 0. That means it is non-polar. So whenever a non-polar solid is present, it will show molecule dispersion or London force. They are soft in nature and they do not conduct electricity. What about their melting point? Very low melting point. But when we are taking polar solid, polar means they will have some dipole moment. So since they will have dipole, the molecule as of such, it will be a dipole. So whenever we are taking two molecules, it is dipole-dipole interaction. This we have already studied in class 11, state of matter. So dipole-dipole interaction, HCl, SO2, all these are under dipole-dipole interaction. Next, physical state, that will be soft. Now these are actually solids we are considering. Don't get confused with HCl, gas or acid. When it exists in solid form, because our chapter is solid state, so it will be soft and it will be insulator, because all of them are covalent. And what about their melting point? It will be low bond. Is it clear? Okay, low. Then comes hydrogen bonded. Again, when we are taking molecules, you know that hydrogen bonding we have discussed in class 11, 4th chapter, chemical bonding. Hydrogen bond is formed when a hydrogen is present between two electronegative atoms. And electronegative में भी आप केवल 3 स्टडी करते हैं, nitrogen, fluorine and oxygen. So if any molecule like that, oxygen, nitrogen and HF, all these 3 will show hydrogen bonding and it will be hard. Yes, ice is a solid, then it will be hard and it is insulator. You know that pure water also does not conduct electricity, so it's an insulator and its melting point is low. What is the melting point of ice? 0 degree Celsius or 273 Kelvin. Yes, the second type is ionic solid. Now this ionic solid is formed by the ions. Here also we are taking molecule, compound, but ions are the particles that are considered. So ions means which type of attraction? Again, Coulombic attraction or electrostatic force of attraction. So you can take all ionic compounds, NaCl, MgO, ZnS, calcium fluoride, potassium chloride, all iodide, all these are examples and they are hard but brittle. Yes, you could see NaCl, when you hammer it, what will happen? It will break. So it is hard but brittle. Now these are actually insulators in solid state but conduct in molten state and in aqueous solution. What about their melting point? Since they are solid and hard, their melting point will be high. Large amount of heat is required to break the electrostatic force of attraction. So melting point will be high. And the third type of solid is obviously your metallic solid. Metallic solid means here we are writing positive ions in a sea of delocalized electron. The valence electrons of all metal atoms. Here the bonding is metallic bonding. That means metal atom. Metal atom is linked to another metal. So all these atoms are metal atoms and metal is also a solid. Here in this case, the particles are actually positive ions. We call them as kernels, K-E-R-N-E-L-S, kernels, and they are in a sea of delocalized electron. Now, which electrons are delocalized here? Only the valence electrons. The electrons present in the valence shell, they are getting delocalized. So the valence electrons of all the atoms, they will form a sea like समुद्र में है जिसमें पॉजिटिव कर्नल्स जो हैं वो तैर रहे हैं. So since they are free to move, if they are conductors even in solid state. So they conduct electricity in solid state as well as in molten state. That is why we are taking metallic wires for our electrical circuit or any fitting. Example आपके सारे iron, copper, silver, mercury, etc. They are hard but malleable and ductile. What do you mean by malleable? Malleable means they can be hammered or compressed into sheets, and ductile means they can be drawn into wires. And what about their melting point? It is fairly high. Imagine iron vessel or copper vessel, what will happen if its melting point is low? We are using these vessels. So what will happen when we are cooking? Due to that LPG, it will get melted and we won't be able to use. Okay, and the last one is nothing but covalent or network solid. Covalent. Covalent means here also the atoms are the particles that are studied. So the attraction between the atoms. Now attraction between atoms, covalent. As we know covalent, which type of elements will show this covalent bonding? P block elements. So here covalent bonding is important, and all the elements P block molecule like silica is an example, quartz silica, silicon carbide or carbon diamond, then aluminium nitride, carbon graphite, all of them are covalent or network solids. We call them as covalent, network, or another giant molecules. Giant means very large molecules. They are hard. Silica you have studied in class 11th. Silica, it is the hard and it is an insulator. Sand is insulator. What about its melting point? It is very high. But when we say graphite is soft and it is conductor, and it's an exception of this covalent or network solid. So graphite is the non-metal which conducts electricity. So these are actually compounds of non-metal. So we can classify these solids into 4 categories. We will see one by one again. First one is molecular solid. Molecular solid, the constituent particles are molecules. Second is ionic solid. Here the constituent particles are ions. So the attraction between the ions. Third one is metallic solid. Here there will be attraction between positive kernels and delocalized ions. So bonding is metallic bonding. And last one is covalent or network solid. Okay, this is about different types of solids. Rest structures we will see in next class. Thank you.